Okay, the second part about life insurance is permanent insurance. And permanent insurance is what lasts for your whole part of your life, okay? Now, on the permanent insurance, a lot of people, they end up with, they pay out at least 82% of the permanent insurance policies, okay? Now, there's 3 types of permanent insurance. The one type is the whole life, okay? And that's been around for quite a while. You've got a couple policies like that. But what's the bad part about whole life?
Doesn't earn much.
Doesn't earn much, and it's expensive. So you only make like maybe 2 to 3% a year. All right? Then they came out what they call a variable universal life. Now in the whole life policy, the insurance company picks the funds that they invest your money in. When you have a variable universal life, you pick the mutual funds that you want to grow in. Whereas Mick might be very aggressive, but John Doe is very conservative. So, but it balances out, you know, because you could make a lot of money, but guess what? You could also lose a lot of money. But it's variable, better than a whole life policy. And in the last years, it has averaged between 5 and 6%. Now that's pretty good, but we really want to try to get around this point here. Okay. So then they came out what they called an indexed universal life policy. And the way this is gauged is all interest is linked to what the S&P 500 does.
Mm-hmm.
And the S&P 500 is averaged 10% in the last 25 years. So for it to average 10%, it's got to have some good years, it's got to get some bad years, but it has averaged, the IULs have averaged 10% the last 25 years. So you've got to have some good points, you got some bad points, but it's always guaranteed not to lose money. When the market goes down, you stay the same. When the market goes up, you go up from the high point. When it goes down, you stay at the gains are locked in. When it goes up again, you earn your money. That's what the beauty of this is. So does this you understand all the 3 points here that I've talked about?
I do.
Very good. Do you have any questions on it?
No, I think you explained it very well.
Okay. Now you remember when we sat down before, we had talked about something like maybe doing like $400 or $500 a month. Okay. Now what I did was, I did an illustration for you. Okay. You're gonna love these numbers. Okay, let me go and show it to you. If we put in the $500 a month that you talked about,
Mm-hmm.
being your age 41, and I ran this at a standard rate, and what that means is your health, you look like you're in pretty good health to me. So if you are actually in better health, like say your preferred not health, the insurance company grades you on your health standards. So you look pretty good to me. So you might even get more money that they would put toward the making money part versus the cost of insurance. Now, had you put in $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year for the next 30 years, and at age 70, what you told me you want to retire at, you will have put in a total of $174,000. But you would also be able to take out almost $16,500 a year, tax-free, for the rest of your life. Okay, let's just look at here, at age 80, you put in $174,000, and guess what? You've taken out almost 3 times that amount.
Well,
Okay, and I did it on the back side here as well, okay? Let's just say you're still a spry 9 years old. And you're out there golfing in Scotland. You wanted to go there.
aye.
And you're a slicer. Ball goes into the sawgrass and you're out there trying to get your ball out of there, out of the sawgrass. And out of this sawgrass, a big old snake grabs a hold of your leg, takes care of you. So you go to the hospital, okay? Well, take care of that means, you know, your age, 90 years old. And they say, you know what? Hate to tell you this, Mick, but we've discovered some issues with you. I mean, you've got some serious cancer issues that we have to talk to you about. And they tell you, well, you know what? You got maybe a year to live. So that being said, you know, you call your children in, you call your wife in, and you say, you know what, honey? I've had a pretty good retirement the last 20 years. We put in $500 a month for $20 a year, for 20-some odd years. We put in a total of $139,000 in it. And we've taken out roughly over $1 million in that amount of time since we started drawing on it. And I'm still, when I kick the bucket, you're still gonna have $151,000 as a life benefit. Now, do you think $500 a month that we put away for all those years was worth it?
I sure do.
And that's the beauty of this thing. You put a little bit in over a monthly period, put it over a long length of time, and you have this benefit tax-free the rest of your life. Had you taken this money, $6,000 a year, and put it in the 401k, you would have accumulated this amount of dollars. But guess what? You're gonna have to end up paying taxes on it every year, and you don't have a death benefit on top of it.
Right.
So didn't we do a great thing back then?
Yeah.
So, do you have any questions, what I've gone through right now?
I don't. It's
Okay.
good.
Would you like me to go through this with you and fill out an application?
Sure.
Okay, all right, I appreciate it. Now, what we need, there are some gotchas in it. Fidelity and Guarantee is a very strict company,
Mm-hmm.
and they only accept good people. You could be a little bit below the weather, some health issues, whatever. But if you have any big health issues at all, you're gonna have to pass a physical, and what they call a pyramid exam. They come out, they give you a blood and urine sample. Okay, and it takes about 3-4 weeks to get it through.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me ask you something. Okay, your name is Mick Houston, right?
Right.
Okay, and your social security is blah, 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 right?
Right.
Okay, and do you have a driver's license in Indiana?
I do.
Okay, and it's blah, 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 blah. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now, who do you think you'd want to have for your beneficiaries? Would you want to have your wife as your beneficiary, or do you want to have children or charity? Okay, I'll take that information, blah, 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 blah. Okay, now what happens is the pyramid people will come out, okay, and they will ask you the rest of these questions, okay? So, are you planning on jumping on any airplanes lately?
No.
Gonna join the military?
No.
Okay, very good. So what I will have to do is get some your signature on some of these forms. So this one here is called a HIPAA form. What this is, it helps. It gives you authorization to release your medical information from your doctor. Okay, on your signature on that, here's the
Okay.
pen. Okay. Now here is another form you have to sign, so in case you have, so they can do an AIDS test. So I need your signature on that, over here. And you sign here too, please. Okay. Now this here is a statement saying that I showed you an illustration of what you could possibly make. So would you please sign that down there too?
Good.
Okay. So, and I also need you to sign on this one here. This is for the insurance app. Sign right there, please.
Good.
Okay. Now, F Fidelity and Guarantee is a very neat thing that you can do. Now, if you show a good faith effort, they want to show good faith effort from you. Now, we did this illustration at $500 a month. Now, if you give me a check for $500 a month, goes into an escrow account, if something happens to you, even though you haven't passed the exam, F&G will pay out to your beneficiary. It doesn't commit you to this policy. It takes about 4 to 5 weeks for it all to go through and we get the policy. So is that something that you would like to do?
It is.
Okay, all right, so if you would please write out a check, make it out to Brian Tiemens, no. Make it out to Fidelity and Guarantee Life,
Okay.
and we can get the ball rolling.
Great.
for you.
Here's the check.
Thank you very much. Now, here is a copy of the booklet that explains a little bit about what the F&G does, or what this particular policy does. Now, what I'm gonna do, do you have an email address?
I do.
All right, can I have your email address, please?
Here it is.
Okay, I'm gonna send you some emails over this period of time,
Mm-hmm.
and that way, if you have any more questions, hopefully these emails will answer your questions.
Okay.
All right,
Great.
I appreciate your time.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.